Let's talk about real estate, and specifically, let's talk about real estate in California. Now, we're seeing kind of a similar trend that we've been seeing over the last several months, and that is that median home prices somehow manage to stay in the positive just slightly from a year-over-year perspective, while at the same time, a lot of the other data points like inventory levels and pending home sales are looking worse and worse each month that goes by. So in this video, we're going to take a look at some general data about the California housing market, a little bit about mortgage rates. I'm going to share a really crazy property with you guys that had to take a massive price reduction to sell. And we're also going to take a look in more granular detail at 3 counties in California, 3 of the largest metros, Santa Clara County, Los Angeles County, and San Diego County, since that will give us a really good idea of what's happening throughout the state overall. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing I want to talk about is mortgage rates. And I just want to share really quickly, I'm here on Freddie Mac and I'm looking at the current mortgage rates as of May 29th, so just a couple days ago. And as you can see here, we are still under that 7% threshold. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to everybody's loans. It depends on the type of mortgage and the risk level and the credit scores and the down payment and all that stuff. But at least broadly speaking, we're still under that sort of 7% threshold. But in truth, these rates are very, very high. And this is what's actually causing a lot of the slowdown that we're seeing in real estate across the country and also California, because a lot of buyers just cannot afford both the high prices as well as the high interest rates combined. And the interesting thing is we are starting to see these rates rise. They had kind of fallen a little bit. In fact, if you go back to September last year, you see that we were down around 6%, which was helping things. And now we've just been on this steady trajectory upwards since then. And so rates are just under 7%, which is not helping things at all. And it's likely with everything we have going on economically at this point that rates may stay higher longer than everybody expects, which I think is going to be a very difficult thing for the housing market, particularly in states like California with the high prices. Now let's just take a quick look at some general data for California off of Redfin's website. And you see here they say home prices in California were up 0.3% year over year in April. At the same time, the number of homes sold rose 1.3% and the number of homes for sale rose 19%. So that's a pretty big jump in the number of homes for sale. But amazingly, we are up 0.3% in terms of prices year over year, which is surprising given the increasing inventory and the lack of pending home sales. And for that reason, I just want to take a quick segue and tell you what I think is going on. And what that is that a lot of the homes that are being listed are actually not going to sell. They're just priced too high for what they actually are in terms of the value that they offer compared to other homes in the market for buyers. And so those homes don't ever end up selling, which means the real price that those homes would have sold at, had they been priced the way they would have needed to have been in order to have sold, are not affecting the actual data that we're seeing. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about real quick. So I want to show you this home. I talked about it a little bit on another video, but I just think it's important to look at. So this home here originally sold back in March 3rd, 2022 for $4.1 million. And for whatever reason, this owner needed to turn around and sell the home 2 years later, May 10th, 2024. And look what price it actually sold for. $2,550,000. And this is actually about a 40% or just under a 40% drop in the price of the home in just 2 years. And this is a very nice looking home in gorgeous condition. I mean, everything is beautiful inside. So what this is really showing us is that there are a lot of homes currently that aren't selling in California that buyers just are not able to buy or not willing to buy, that for them to actually sell, the price would have to be dropped dramatically to actually cause those homes to sell. But interestingly, we're seeing much stickier prices than I anticipated or anybody else anticipated. And so a lot of homes are just sitting at these high prices where nobody's willing to buy them and they're just not selling. And so if the sellers never lower the prices and don't really need to sell the homes, then those lower prices that they would actually sell at are never going to end up in the median home price data that we're all looking at. And I just want to take a moment to say, if you need any help with real estate here in SoCal, or you need a referral to a great agent anywhere else in the country, feel free to reach out to me. So jumping back in this California housing report, there's a few additional things I just wanted to share with you. Again, we're up 0.3% year over year according to this. We'll scroll down here a little bit and we'll see that homes for sale are up 19% year over year. So a lot of growth there in the number of homes for sale. And then real quick, we'll just scroll down here and look at one other thing about housing demand. In April 2025, 41.9% of homes in California sold above list price, down 7.3 points year over year. There were only 28.5% of homes that had price drops, up from 21% of homes in April of last year. And then there was 100.4% sale to list price, down 1 points year over year. So overall, looking at the state in general, things don't really look that bad until you look under the surface a little bit and consider some of the things like what I shared with you about homes generally being priced too high to actually clear the market. So now let's take a look at what's happening in these three counties, Santa Clara, Los Angeles, and San Diego, so we can actually see what's happening under the surface in some of these high median home price counties in the state. First off, we'll take a look at Los Angeles County here, and we see that we are up 2.8% in terms of prices year over year, which of course is surprising. Again, we're not that much higher than we were back all the way in 2022. So from that standpoint, there hasn't been much price growth overall since that previous peak. However, when we dig a little deeper, we look at month supply, look at what the picture is showing us. We are up 28.6% year over year at 4.5 months supply in Los Angeles County. That's not a good sign. Going all the way back to 2020, we are way above those levels. We haven't seen this level of inventory in Los Angeles County piling up for many, many years. So definitely homes are sitting, lots of homes are not selling. And this is going to continue to be a problem if interest rates continue to stay high or we continue to see more economic uncertainty. And I also want to show you guys pending home sales. Look at this. I mean, this is remarkable to look at. We are down 42.3% year over year. I mean, look at the graph. We're in the middle of peak selling season right now. Homes should be flying off the shelves. And instead, look what we're seeing. We're seeing the lowest level of pending home sales going back further than 5 years. This is definitely not a good sign. Only 2,510 pending home sales right now. And remember, it's the current pending home sales that are ultimately going to become the closed sales that we see 30 days and 60 days from now. So this means closed sales are going to look a lot worse in the next 30 or 60 days because we're in peak selling season right now and pending home sales are doing terrible. Next, let's take a look at Santa Clara County as well. So we see here in Santa Clara County, we are up 1.7% year over year in terms of prices. So again, we are seeing a little bit of price growth, but remember, like I shared in the beginning of this video, the question is that modest price growth actually meaningful given the fact that lots of homes that are on the market aren't actually going to sell at the prices that they're listed at? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys. Why don't you let me know in the comments down below what you think? Now, if we take a look at month supply, just like we did for Los Angeles County, look at that. Same thing that's happening in LA. Supply is really rising, at least a 5-year high on supply here as well. And look at that. We're up 35.3% year over year for the supply of homes in Santa Clara County. Now, that's only 2.3 months, which is generally considered really low. However, we typically do see low inventory levels in these counties. So the fact that it is rising well above where it was previously is telling us that the market is cooling off. The market is definitely slowing down. And how about pending home sales in Santa Clara County? We see similar trend. We're down as well. Negative 22.2% year over year. Not as bad looking as it is in Los Angeles County, but certainly not a lot of activity, not a lot of homes in escrow right now. Lastly, let's take a look at San Diego County and see how that compares. We are down 0.1% in median home prices in San Diego County. So we're finally seeing some declines in prices there. What if we look at month supply, just like we did in LA, and look at that? Oh my goodness. We're way up there, 3.2 months supply, up 14.3% year over year. So again, this is not a good sign. Rising inventory levels in San Diego as well. And then if we look at pending home sales, again, similar picture. So we had back in 2020, 2021, around peak selling season, 4,000 pending home sales. 2021, we had about 4,000. And here we are, peak selling season 2025, and we only have 2,100 homes pending. So this is not good. This means we're seeing about a 50% decline from the levels that we had just 3-4 years ago. So guys, I think that wraps up this California housing market update. I hope this information was was useful. If I can help you with any real estate needs here in SoCal, or you need a referral to a great agent anywhere else in the country, reach out to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next video.